tough foe for him. He found that out in the first one. Norton had the style to give him a lot of problems.
And as we will see in this fight, Kenny Norton proved to be equal. And we're going to have a chance to take a look at, and now 11 years retrospectively, the decision of this fight. That's going to be curious.
You might want to score as you go along in this fight. Interesting to look and see what you think 11 years later.
Because indeed, as the decision came down, whether indeed the fight was reflected on the cards, you can be the judge at home. Ken Norton, Muhammad Ali, their rematch from September of 1973 at the LA Forum, another ESPN Superbout. We join Freddie Pacheco and Bob Halloran.
The seat is the Forum in Los Angeles, California. The opponents, Muhammad Ali and Ken Norton. Let's go to the ring announcer for the introduction.
California, wearing the blue trunks with the white stripes, weighing in tonight at 205 pounds, the number one ranking heavyweight in all the world, Kenny Norton. And on my left, from Louisville, Kentucky, weighing in tonight, 212 pounds, wearing the white trunks with the black stripes, the former heavyweight champion of the world, Muhammad Ali.
Well, Dr. Freddie Pacheco, this is a 12-round rematch of a fight that took place, a tremendous upset 5.5 months ago down the road in San Diego, California, when the man on the left there, Ken Norton, defeated the only once-beaten former champion Muhammad Ali as they received their final instructions from the referee Dick Young in the Forum in Los Angeles. Angelo Dundee looking on. You're in there somewhere. That's Eddie Futch with his back to us, the trainer of Ken Norton. It is called the North American Heavyweight Championship. But more important, it is a very, very crucial fight for the former champion Muhammad Ali. And I think he shows a lot more determination and seriousness in his look as he goes back to his corner than he did in their first fight when he was finally beaten by Ken Norton. One thing to remember before the bell sounds here for round one, both fighters, Norton 205, 5 pounds lighter, and Ali obviously in better shape, now 9 pounds lighter, 212, 30 the action in round one.
Big problem coming in here, obviously, was the jaw, and 5.5 months just as strong as it ever was. Could he take a punch on it? I thought, of course, that he could take a punch. At this point, he had gone up to the mountains. He had trained very, very hard, almost as hard as for the Frazier fight. He was trimmed. He was in shape. There was no flab on him. At 212, he was slick. And more than anything, he had this immense Ali pride. Ali's got to win today. Ali has got to prove that he is indeed going to be the champion of the world.
If I'm not mistaken, Freddie, and you may correct me because you were around in 1964, isn't this the same weight he was when he won the title from Sonny Liston, 212 pounds?
Yes, about 212. That was his real speed, his speedy weight. I mean, I called it his speed weight because he really moved very well. As you can see, he's up on his toes. He is really moving. He intends to show Norton right from the beginning that he means business. Norton, on the other hand, has got fond memories of 5.5 months ago. He's not intimidated. He wants to go at it like he had before.
Well, you're a physician, Freddie, and you mentioned briefly about the fracture of the broken jaw sustained by Muhammad Ali in that fight in San Diego. How can he come back 5.5 months later? Seems awfully soon to be coming back from such an injury.
Well, it does, except for the fact that he had excellent plastic surgery done in San Diego. The doctor that operated on him had specialized in jaw fractures in Vietnam. He assured us that the jaw would be even stronger and that it would take a jackhammer to break it. So he had been examined by the best doctors in the country. I felt, based on my experience, that he could go without any trouble and get hit as hard. We had a bridge specially made for the missing tooth that was there, and we had no problems as far as the jaw was concerned. I think Ali, in his mind, didn't even give it a second thought. His mind is on Ken Norton. Ken Norton's right in front of him, and this round you can see an enormous amount of difference in confidence in Muhammad Ali, who is dancing and showing Ken Norton what it's like to be in front of a 212-pound Ali.
Well, no question that this is a pivotal time in Ali's career. If he wants to regain a heavyweight title from George Foreman, the champion, he must be impressive. He cannot let Ken Norton beat him for the second straight time, because it'll be Norton who will be fighting for the championship in the next few months and not Ali.
Absolutely.
Less than 30 seconds now as Ali continues to move left to right, up on his toes. Norton perhaps pursuing him as he did in their previous fight, but Ali perhaps a little more aggressive in the early rounds than he was in Ali Norton #1.
Ali's moving a thing of beauty as always. That distinguishes him from any other heavyweight that fought.
Well, this is it. Final seconds now of round 1, Ali and Norton.
This to be fighting, it's not the same person that you see in the ring right now. This is Ali, well-trained, in shape, on his toes, trying to show his opponent. This is the real Muhammad Ali you're in the ring with, Chump. It's not that fat guy that was slobbering around last time. Of course, Ken Norton pays no attention to that. He's a very determined fighter. He's been taught not to think about Ali, not to listen to Ali as he talks to him, not to go for his dive, but to keep coming forward in that crab-like way of his, dragging his right foot behind him. It's a very awkward style. It gave Ali an awful lot of trouble the last time. This time he is determined. He's going to dance. He's going to show him the ring mastery that has made Muhammad Ali considered the greatest fighter of all time.
One thing to take a note of here, when they met 5.5 months ago, Ken Norton was ranked #7. And off that victory over the former champion Ali, Norton coming into this fight now, just 5.5 months later, is ranked #1. So a tremendous boost for Ken Norton as we look at Boondini Brown, one of the seconds in the corner with you, Ferdy.
It's a great emotional uplift for Ali. He communicates a certain type of mystic energy to Ali. I don't know how to explain it, except he was essential to Ali in many ways. That's not to denigrate Angelo Dundee, the great cornerman who, after all, is duly credited as one of the best cornermen who ever lived.
He was almost like his guru, wasn't he?
He was. There was certain sort of mystical something going on between them that gave him energy, and
well, he talked awful loud.
That's what it was.
Missing. All right, we are in round 2, and that is Ken Norton on the left chasing Muhammad Ali.
Not doing a very good job. He just has not been able to find him.
Good jab there. Put the face back, put the head back of Muhammad Ali. They're using 10-ounce gloves, incidentally, under California state boxing laws.
This time, Ali is out-jabbing Norton. In the first fight, Norton was out-jabbing Ali surprisingly all the way through. This time, he's not been able to find him with a jab, and even though some of them look like they land, Ali's really pulling his head away from them so that they're not landing. The first round, he didn't do anything. The second round has been progressing so that it doesn't look like he's found the mark. He knows Ali will have to come down off his toes sooner or later, and they'll have to be fighting it out.
A couple of good left hooks, one to the body by Ken Norton.
Look at that smothering by Ali. Ali is the master of smothering and laying on people.
Tremendous physique on the on Kenny Norton. Look at those back muscles.
Well, it's Muhammad Ali's not too shabby.
Less than 15 seconds now remaining in this, the second round, and it's scheduled for 12. And Ali still dancing, as he has done now for almost 6 minutes of this fight. And round 2 at an end. Ali at the bell, coming out to meet Ken Norton in round 3 from the Forum in Los Angeles. This is Bob Heller along with Dr. Ferdy Pacheco, who is in the corner working with, was in the corner working with Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali disdained a stool in this fight. He was in such great shape that he would come and would refuse to sit down. A tactic neither I nor Angelo Dundee like an awful lot. I'd rather have him get that 60 seconds of rest. But he is in such great physical shape. He's been to the mountain, as he says.
Is that part of the sight, Ferdy? Does that have any psychological effect on the opponent? He's sitting down and...
No, I think it has an effect on you. You feel like you're in such good shape, you can stand and you can go. The opponent really doesn't look over there and doesn't care. It's what happens between bells.
Round 3, and Ali doing a little bit of shuffling there with his feet. A master at footwork.
Still on his toes. Still grabbing him in the back of the neck with his left hand. Still neutralizing Norton and getting away with it. He was a master of getting away with that. I never saw any referee stop that.
Well, Ferdy, he's a master of a lot of things when he gets inside those 4 corner posts. You can, perhaps his hands are so fast that even when he's holding, the referees aren't even aware of it.
He's a master of impressing the judges and the referee. There he goes again, leaning on Norton. This is perfectly legal. It wears out Norton. Of course, Norton, a superbly conditioned athlete. You're left looking at both of these fine specimens. You cannot remember seeing 2 better-looking fighters fighting each other, both as far as body, both as far as face, and both as far as fighting form. They're beautiful, beautiful specimens of boxing people. They almost look like they were cast out of a movie.
We're in round 3. It is scheduled for 12 from the Forum in Los Angeles. Remember, in the previous meeting, the upset by Norton, there were no knockdowns in the fight. And of course, the broken jaw put on Ali by Norton. At this point in the fight, with less than a minute, seems to be not a factor at all here in the early round.
Interesting that he has been on his toes for 3 rounds, winning points, looking good. His legend always intimidating the judges and the referee to see the fight for Ali. Even in the fight where he lost openly to Norton, one of the judges gave the fight to Ali.
You know, it's one thing to be up on your toes and move around, but a lot of people can do that, but he's not only up on his toes moving around, he's scoring like that with the combinations, the jab, and then following it up with a right hand, another jab.
Perfect example of what made Ali a great fighter.
Just a thing of beauty to watch when he's right, and he appears to be right tonight. Less down and approaching 10 seconds in round 3. Ken Norton against the ropes. Referee separating them as round 3 is about over.
3 rounds. The action slowing down just a tad in round 4. So let's now jump ahead to round 5 with Ferdy and Bob Halloran.
The bell for round 5. It's scheduled for 12.
Still on his toes. Getting to be borderline incredible here. If he does 5 rounds on his toes, that will really be something.
Piling up the points, meanwhile. The referee is Dick Young, and showing what a great fight it is to this point. Young is really not necessary. He could be refereeing this fight from the 4th row.
Yes, he could be the invisible referee. You just have not seen him. He's not been necessary. Both fighters extremely clean fighters. They have been bouncing around the ring. There's been no clinches, nothing dirty.
Ali on his toes, but for the first time between rounds 4, after round 4 and before round 5, this round, Ali for the first time sat on a stool. Prior to that, he'd been standing up, showing disdain almost for any suggestion or hint that he sit down.
One of the things you will notice in this fight, as in all Muhammad Ali fights, is he disdains the body. He's one of the few fighters I've ever seen that's gotten to such Olympian heights as he has, ignoring the body. Totally. He is totally a headhunter. He builds up points, he knocks people out, and it's all to the body, to the head. Whereas Norton has been schooled very well by Eddie Futch, and he will go downstairs, and he will try to pound it. Had he been doing that in the first 5 rounds, it is possible that Ali would not be bouncing around on his toes, but he hasn't been able to catch up with Ali to thump any body shots in there. You see the way Ali just changed directions just then? That's what's made him a great heavyweight. Very few people can move to both sides like Ali and punch on the movement from both sides. That's what Angelo Dundee loved about Muhammad Ali. He said he can move, but to move to either side like that with that fluidity and that grace is something you just don't see in heavyweights.
Well, you don't see it. Maybe you see it in heavyweights early in their career, but you got to remember and look back that it was 1964. That's 9 years ago that this man on the right became the heavyweight champion of the world. And here he is 9 years later, still on his toes, still looking like the youngster that he was then when he beat Sonny Liston in Miami, Florida.
And forced into retirement for almost 3 years without a fight, which would have ended anybody else's career. Still he came back, still he regained his reflexes, his conditioning, still his stamina, his desire, his will to win. He's an exceptional young man, Muhammad Ali.
Well, there's no question he's serious about his business, and he's never been more serious than he is tonight, because as we said earlier, he cannot stand to lose a second time to Ken Norton.
There's Ken Norton winging 2 good body shots, the first 2 really good body shots of the fight. And he must do this to get Ali down off his toes.
No knockdowns. We're in round 5.
In the meantime, he's taking a beating to the face since Ali just keeps flicking out.
Well, Norton has not been known to cut, so obviously, despite all the punishment, he is in there as round 5 comes to an end.
You see Ali trying to hold off Kenny so that you don't get into head-to-head confrontation.
Okay, the bell for round 6, and here we go in Los Angeles at the Forum. It's scheduled for 12. Muhammad Ali, very impressive, still on his toes, still moving, frustrating to some respects. The challenge of Ken Norton, who is trying for the second time within 5.5 months to beat the highly rated and former champion of the world, Muhammad Ali.
And Kenny Norton should be a very confused fighter by now. He's saying, what's this? The last time I was able to whip this guy easy, and all of a sudden I can't even find him. Well, he's not only not finding Ali, but he's finding Ali's fist right in his face.
Good right hand moments ago to the chin of Ken Norton coming from Ali.
Lightning-like reflexes. Ali is able to counterpunch off the ropes better than almost any fighter. And Kenny still trying to come on, still trying to wait for him to get tired enough to exchange and tie him up and fight on the inside and go to the body. First 2 good punches by Norton of this round. First time he's going to the body real hard in this round. He's trying to out-jab Ali, which he has not been able to do up to this point. Now he's cutting him off in a corner. He's getting his jab in. It's a little bit better for Kenny Norton this round.
We're in round 6, and this is the way it's been going.
Can you notice, Bob, that Ali is slowing down a little bit, and Norton is catching up. He's cutting that distance, and that means that pretty soon he's going to be landing his kind of bombs, just like he did 5.5 months ago, and we'll see how much that affects Ali.
That was a good left to the chin of Ali thrown by Ken Norton.
He almost lost his mouth.
I must agree with you. After being dominated by Ali, this is a better round, and a round thus far in the favor of Norton. Another left. Another one.
He is beginning to out-jab Ali. First time, Ali comes right back with a left-right, another left hook, a left uppercut. But here comes Norton.
Oh, a good right cross. Just grazing the chin.
Again, Ali with his left hand hooking Norton behind the head and pulling him to him. Now there's exchanging jabs. A roundhouse left by Ali which missed. And they cut. The action continues along the road. Oh, a good left right by Ali. A good left hook by Ali. A miss by Norton. Norton right in his face, talking to him, taunting him, wanting the action to pick up.
Tremendous action here in round 6. The best action thus far. Kenny Norton, a rejuvenized fighter, coming out and doing things he had not done in the first 5 rounds, Purdy.
He has literally cut the distance and almost run over to him. He's been hollering and taunting him, and Ali has been slowing down. Inexplicably, he has been slowing down. That could be because of the body shots. It could be because he has been on his toes for 5 rounds and standing up in a corner between.
Less than 10 seconds remaining in round 6, and it's been a big round for the man in the blue trunks, but he took a great right there as the bell is about to sound for round 6.
In just a few
Corners of both fighters, Ken Norton and Muhammad Ali, and let's take a look at round 6, Bertie.
Here's where you see Muhammad Ali at his best. When he's up against the ropes, here comes a determined Norton. He gets hit. Now, Ali is looking for his right hand to come over. Lands a hook in anticipation of it. He's watching it. There it goes. Whoops, it missed, and Ali is still there. Now Norton, enraged, is screaming at him. Ali moving away, throws the right hand moving away, which is a favorite punch of his from the ropes, a left, and moves away.
Well, it's got to be very frustrating for Ken Norton.
Well, Ken Norton's heating up now, Bob. He's talking to him. He's getting mad. He's getting the reins. It's going to be interesting to see what happens this next round.
Okay, waiting for the bell for round 7. Once again, Muhammad Ali on his toes at the bell. Coming from Los Angeles, it's scheduled for 12. And this is Bob Halloran along with the fight doctor, Ferdy Pacheco.
And we're struck with the amazing difference between 5.5 months ago when Norton dominated the entire opening of the fight, and Ali is now doing the reverse. He has dominated the entire opening of this fight, although now it's getting close because Norton's coming on and closing the range.
Ferdy, you often say that you can't tell Muhammad Ali anything, but where are the instructions from you and Angelo and everybody else connected with him? A good left there thrown to the chin, and a right, and then followed up with another left to the belly by Norton.
Well, in all truth, there's only one man whose opinion counts in the corner, and that's Angelo Dundee. He's telling him to do more of what he's been doing up to now. Obviously, Ali already knows that.
My question was, did you tell him that he must go out in direct contrast to his previous fight when he lost, that he must go out and win early?
Oh, obviously, Angelo's instructions as well as Ali's instructions. After all, Ali is one of the smartest men in the ring, and he knows he had to come out and get an early lead. He's gotten that. Now the question is, does he keep on dancing, or does he get down to some serious fighting now that he's got Norton so frustrated and rattled?
What I was wondering, Purdy, he's had a history of making predictions, Muhammad Ali. Did he ever make a prediction here?
Never in the corner. And all the time I've worked with him up to now, I've never heard him predict a round. He goes out and takes care of business. He's deadly serious in the corner. All the rest of that is show business. Now look at Norton taking leverage. Now this is what he did in San Diego 5.5 months ago. And Ali is standing still. Now that is really mysterious because he's been moving so good. Again, the left hand behind Norton. Again, the attempt to smother him. In comes the referee for the first time. Dick Young has to really exert his authority to break them up. And Boudini is going predictably crazy in the corner.
Well, I don't know what he's telling him, but he's moving almost as good as his favorite fighter is, Muhammad Ali. Good rights and lefts to the head, and Norton counterpunches right back to the ex-champion. Goes over the head with one, and Ali coming back with the jab, an uppercut. And Norton slashes to the body to the left and follows it to the right, and Ali grabs and holds on.
Norton fighting the range, no question about it. Ali looking perplexed and bewildered in the corner. He's not his usual spinning self. He didn't get out of that corner very well.
Again, he got hit. That hook put on by Ken Norton in less than 30 seconds now. A big round for Ken Norton.
Oh my, the tempo of this fight is changing. Ken Norton has found her in corner to corner. He's caught him in every corner, every one. He's landing uppercuts between the two gloves of Ali, and Ali is not doing anything about it.
A big round. In fact, large, better round than Norton had beating him 5.5 months ago.
That's one of the best rounds Ken ever had against Muhammad Ali.
Round 7, winding down. Rudy Punch in round 8 underway in Los Angeles. It's scheduled for 12, and it's for what they call the North American Heavyweight Championship.
And now, no question about it, Norton has cut the distance on Ali. Ali has begun this round in a sort of feeble attempt, a sort of shadowy attempt at what he did so well for the first 5 rounds, which was move on his toes. Even with this movement, Ken Norton is very close to him, punching range close.
And what he's doing effectively, Ferdy, if I'm not mistaken, is he's cutting the ring down.
He is cutting the ring down. He has a very peculiar style that gave Ali an awful lot of trouble. See, none of those punches by Ali are landing. He crosses his arms in front of Norton's face in a sort of Archie Moore type crisscross, and he doesn't get it. Oh, he got good left hook by Ali. Norton just got hit by a good left hook coming in. Doesn't seem to bother Kenny Norton.
What he also seems to be doing, Ferdy, I notice is he isn't doing it now, but he will put both his hands up like that, which he wasn't doing earlier, and he certainly didn't do in their first meeting. Carrying both of his hands up high above his face. And when he gets in close to Ali, Ken Norton covers himself up very effectively. We're in round 8.
There's Boudini in the left hand corner, getting rid of about 10 pounds and about 100,000 verbs.
Little snapping jab by Ken Norton. Ali retaliates with a couple of jabs with his own, the right and the left. Counter to the head of Ken Norton.
Oh, what a sweeping hook. It made Ali put his hands on the rope for support. Kenny Norton is really coming on like an out-of-control freight train here. He is just absolutely irresistible at this point.
Well, it was all Ali for the first 6 rounds, and for the last 2 as we move under close to a minute remaining in this round. Now it is Ken Norton. The tide has turned here.
Even so, Ali has made him pay a price coming into that corner just then. You saw 4 or 5 solid blows by Ali landing, and even though they don't have the authority of Ken Norton's punches, they still have got to sound and feel bad to Ken Norton. Again, the referee, Dick Young, staying out of the way.
Good right hand by Ali. Couple of jabs flicked in, but Ken Norton pushes him aside and goes in and ties up the former champion of the world.
Those jabs are not meant to hurt as much as to...
Good left that followed it with a roundhouse right. Comes back and pushes Ali into the ropes as Ken Norton.
And Ali can really take punishment because those were 2 really good punches by Ken Norton, which landed flush on the jaw of Muhammad Ali. And if there was ever going to be any doubt about Ali's jaw, it could be solved right then because they landed right on the button.
Well, certainly a change here in the way this fight has been going. Less than 10 seconds now, and a great round. 8 is over.
Sunday, ESPN.
For round 9. It's scheduled for 12. And the pace here and the way this fight has gone, Ferdy, has made a drastic change in the last 2 rounds. All Norton, tremendous in the testing of that once fractured jaw of Muhammad Ali.
At the end of round 8, he landed a punch that I cannot believe Ali could stand up to it. A right hand right at the bell, which landed flush on the jaw.
Has he made any complaints at all about the jaw?
None whatsoever. Angelo's counting off the round. In other words, when we get close to the end, Angelo says, we only got 9, 10, 11, and 12. That's only 12 minutes of fighting. Come on, Ali, suck it up. We need this round because we know we're ahead. We've got to keep this going. We've got to save a round and stop Norton's flood tide here.
And he also needs this fight. He cannot stand to lose it because he just gets thrown in the pile. He's fighting the #1 contender, Ken Norton. Muhammad Ali has not been the champion for some time. He wants it back.
You have to give credit to Ken Norton. Behind almost 5 rounds he came on. There's Angelo Dundee. Talking, thinking, trying to outthink Norton, trying to find a way and give it to Ali. But nothing can help Ali right now because in front of him is an enraged Ken Norton. He's coming on. He seems to have solved Ali's dancing, and Ali is dancing very slowly. There's Boudini again, suffering with every punch, feeling every punch that Muhammad Ali, his young idol, is feeling. He suffers like no one I've ever seen in the corner. He loses 10 pounds with every fight.
He pleads. He doesn't yell at his fighter. He pleads with him. Ken Norton still relentless on the attack. Ali pushing him away.
Boudini's a great character and a great heart. He's really an exceptional person in that sense.
Still Norton coming after him. Round 9, approaching the midway mark of round 9. A good right to the body by Ken Norton. Ali now slowing down, not up on his toes, not moving. Norton with another good left that snaps the head back. Again snaps the head back of Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali retaliates with a right and a left. And Ken Norton momentarily stunned, but no, he comes back with a left again.
Ali at this point is now down from his toes. He wants to outspeed him with his fist. Ali, who's had the fastest fist in boxing, wants to stand toe-to-toe and make it out-trigger him. And that's what he's doing through this middle of this round. 35 seconds to go. He's trying to make a miss, and he's coming back. Oh, a tremendous punch by Ali. A left. He's waiting for Norton to make a mistake. Norton is all of a sudden slowed up. It's a different ball game now that Ali is pitching along with him, and he's still pitching.
Tremendous round. Round 9, winding down here in Los Angeles. Less than 10 seconds, and the action, as you see it, both fighters flat-footed. Now Ali against the rope as round 9 is about to come to an end.
ESPN's Monday is filled with football and baseball. There's another edition of NFL Films Present, plus a look at last year's Cowboy campaign. Then the season premiere of our NFL Monday night matchup. It's an in-depth examination of the most intense rivalry in the game today. And get a grip on all the latest goings-on inside baseball. Meet the men chasing Major League individual honors and the teams in the hunt for playoff glory. It's all coming your way Monday.
Now we come to 10, 11, and 12. There's a problem here. If he wins 10, 11, and 12, if Norton wins 10, 11, and 12, how will it go? How will the judges look at it? Can he eke out a split decision as he did in San Diego? This is very vital because we are now down Ali's alley. 10, 11, and 12 is where Ali sucks it up and shows you what a champion is all about. Let's see if Norton's got that same kind of championship spirit in him. Is he willing to pay the price? Is he willing to do it tonight? Let's see what he does as this round's action is heating up. He's certainly standing in front of Ali. Is he going to make that mistake of sitting there and trying to outspeed Ali with his hands? Ali is certainly not moving around. He looks like a lumbering tank compared to that whippet-like motion that he had in the first 5 rounds.
Well, recapping, it was mostly Ali, Ferdy, in the first 5 rounds. 7 and 8 big rounds for Ken Norton, and Ali came back and out-punched Norton in round 9. And we are now in round 10, scheduled for 12 from the Forum in Los Angeles. A very important fight for both fights. Norton, the #1 contender. Ali hoping to get another shot at the title that Joe Frazier took away from him, now belongs to George Foreman.
And it begins to look like there's a mouse under the eye of Norton, who has been getting some hammering punches from Ali in the last round and in this round.
Well, one question has been answered as we look at the action continuing in round 10, is the fact that the broken jaw is not a factor at all in this fight, at least not to this point. And I would imagine with the shots that Ali has taken from Ken Norton, especially in round 8, as we saw on that replay moments ago, the jaw is there and it's fine.
Yeah.
Another good right by Ken Norton, right to that jaw we were talking about of Muhammad Ali.
And this fight put to rest all the dreary debates by the Ali circus as to whether his jaw would hold up. I must say, Ali has never ever question anything medically about him. He just goes ahead and fights. All he cares about is what goes on in the ring. Right now, he's got a big problem in front of him named Ken Norton, who's just again getting brave. And he's coming on again. If he takes this round, it's going to get into rock. Oh, a beautiful hook by Ken Norton. He's trying to throw everything he's got. Ali's not moving again. Ali's right there. Now he slides along the rope, takes a right hand for his trouble. Looks like he's running out of gas there. He's leaning on him, putting that left glove behind Norton's head in that time-honored way that Ali has of smothering Ken Norton. And now here he comes again. Again, trying to outhand speed Norton. Norton, just when he seems to get started, stops. Let's see, with 28 seconds to go, what Norton can do to pull this round out at the very end.
Well, this is a big one. Another big round 10 is for Ali because he built up an early lead. But Ken Norton, the way he's been coming on in the last 3 or 4 rounds, could make an impression. And I'm sure he has. But a great left there moments ago by Norton, followed up with a right. With less than 6 seconds remaining now, and round 10 is become history. For him.
Fairly clearly obvious to Ken Norton. He's got to have a big 2 rounds here, if not knock out Muhammad Ali. And he's coming to the attack. He's nice and fresh. He looks like he's ready to rumble. But Ali is beginning the round beautifully with a series of devastating punches on Ken Norton.
Well, the last 5 minutes here, 5.5 minutes are going to tell perhaps the side of this fight. Tremendous. Looks like the last 30 seconds of the fight. It's scheduled for 12. This is only round 11. Look at these guys go, Ferdy.
Look at Norton pushing him off and going with a body attack, a devastating pumping attack to Ali's side and Kennedy's.
Tremendous determination by Ken Norton.
All of a sudden, Ali has quit punching, and it's all Norton punching. He is trying to hold him behind the head again. Norton trying to push off. He's very, very, very strong in these last rounds. Ali's got to come on. He took the first part of the round, and he faded fast. All of a sudden, it's 1 minute and 55, and he's got a very long way to go till the bell.
You wonder, Ferdy, how much somebody coming on in the late rounds impresses the judges. A good right to the jaw by Ali thrown on Ken Norton.
Well, it doesn't make any difference, Bob, because you go round by round, so 5 big rounds at the beginning of the fight is just as good as 5 big ones at the end of the fight. It's just round by round.
Well, Ali found that out when he blew the first 5 rounds of the previous meeting.
And he took these, so Norton's climbing a hill. And that hill is named Muhammad Ali, and it's very, very difficult to take it away from him in the 11th and 12th round, although he's doing a sensational job here.
It's more like a mountain now than it is a hill.
Oh, he is climbing, though. He is relentless. He's there. He's got his head in Ali's chest.
Slowing down, I think, just a little bit.
I think Kenny's slowed down because he's put so much in those early punches.
Tremendous left, missing again. Ali just leaning against the ropes in the corner pad in the neutral corner.
Ali keeps his eyes right on the fighter, right on the fighter. He doesn't move away from him. That's why he can sense where all these punches are coming from.
Less than a minute remaining in round 11. Scheduled for 12. Neither fighter has been down. And that is now in 23 rounds of boxing between these two in the last 5.5 months. Tremendous conditioning on both of these fighters.
Ali willing to fight in spurts. Apparently satisfied that he's got this
Good
fight
right
won if he
hand.
survives.
Less than 30 seconds remaining from the Forum in Los Angeles. Bob Halloran and Ferdy Pacheco bringing you this exciting heavyweight contest. And that is Muhammad Ali being backed against the ropes. Now he pushes Ken Norton out to the center of the ring, lays a couple of jabs and starts dancing again. Follows it with a right off of his toe. Less than 10 seconds now. Wild punches missed by Norton as Ali grabs him and pushes him into the neutral corner and falls with a right and a left. Another left misses, another right. Norton tries to come back.
And Norton knows he's got to win this last round big. But look what happened to him as he came to the end of round 11. For some reason, he gets himself backed up into the corner, and for the first time in the fight, he finds himself on the end of an attack where he's pinned to the corner. Now let's watch Ali on the attack. Right hand that missed. Now left lands flush. He's still looking Kenny. Kenny's not doing any fighting. He's doing defense. A sloppy right hand over his head. A left that grazes. Still Kenny's looking a little confused. He's in an unnatural position. He's blocked that punch. He comes back and misses a punch. And Ali lands a left flush on the jaw, and he blocks the right hand. Now that exchange happened just at the bell, and Kenny went back to his corner a little bit slower and a little bit confused. All of all of a sudden the tempo changed at the bell. Now, in our corner, as we begin the 12th round, Angelo and I and the corner are saying we're way ahead. Don't take any chances with this guy. We think we've got the fight won. But have we got the fight won? We don't know. If the 12th round goes to Norton, maybe Norton will win. We're in California. We don't know what we've got here. Norton knows for sure he needs this 12th round. All of a sudden, Ali begins like he began the fight with a flurry of punches. Maybe he's been saving it up for this. Look at this. It's all Ali. It's the 12th round. It's what he's got to have.
Looks like he's got his second win, Ferdy.
Absolutely. He doesn't listen to the corner. What he wants to do is go out and lay it out because he is a champion. He's maybe the maximum champion of all time, and he lays it out. It's the 12th round, and all Ali knows how to do is fight and win that.
Tremendous left there. He's got Norton just throwing his punches in there.
Norton is all of a sudden finding himself with a completely different Ali from the last 4 or 5 rounds. He's not dominating. All of a sudden, he's getting hit. He's getting worried. And all of a sudden, Ali has pulled it out from nowhere. He's pulled all his energy out. He's definitely taken the first minute of the fight. We're into a minute and 50 seconds. Let's see if he runs out of the gas. Let's see what happens to Norton. Norton is missed wildly with the right hand as Ali is patting away on his face. All of a sudden, it looks different for Ali. He grabbed hold and held. He's backed off. Now the tempo of the fight goes back to the other way. Norton chasing. Ali punching. Norton can't find the combination. We're back to the first 5 rounds. We're doing it all over again.
Obvious big rounds, Dr. Pacheco, for Muhammad Ali. Finishing strong. Norton looking very, very weary now. His legs starting not holding up like they were in the earlier rounds. Missing wildly. Ali jabbing at will there, pushing Norton with those jabs completely off balance and setting him up for more devastating punches here in the final round.
And this 12th round may be how you can epitomize a championship fighter somehow from somewhere.
Great
uppercut, an uppercut by Ali from somewhere, and somehow you get the energy to win when you have to. It's what Eddie Arcaro used to call that extra quarter of an inch that makes your horse win by a nose. In a fighting, it's what you can do in that last round, and Ali is showing it all. He's won this round up to this point convincingly.
Well, very close, as we said, and another good combination by Ali, and Norton, not to be outdone, comes back and with everything he's got, punches again and tries to score some points here in the closing seconds of this fight. It's coming here from Los Angeles, and the near-capacity crowd has really enjoyed it as we have. Less than 20 seconds now, and Norton coming back here, pushing the former champion against the rope.
He knows he's
everything he's got into it.
He knows he's blown this last round, and he's blown all chances because he gave away too much to start this fight.
Less than 10 seconds remaining now. Will not be a knockout. It must go the distance, 12 rounds. A tremendous finish here put on by the former champion, Muhammad Ali, as the bell sounds ending the fight. Okay, Ken Norton back to his corner, and Muhammad Ali, what's he doing, Ferdy?
He just pushed Medini. He gave a right hand to the face at the best punch in the fight. Ali wants to be left alone. There's still a decision to be heard. It's in the hands of the judges. Swerves off. He doesn't want to be touched. He wants some air. There is Howard Cosell waiting for an interview. Ali with his glove off. He's very, very tired. Oh, he's going to hit Howard Cosell.
Well, he was hitting Baldini Brown before, and he still wants to go more than 12 rounds. Okay, let's go up into the ring now and await the decision of the 2 judges and the referee from the Los Angeles Forum.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a split decision.
Situation for Muhammad Ali, and the 2 fighters embrace.
They're close friends. They embrace. Pat Patterson, the bodyguard behind him. Rahman Ali, his brother and close friend. And they lift his hand. Once again, Muhammad Ali has pulled it out in the last round.
Show of class by Ken Norton going over to embrace Muhammad Ali after a very close split decision. This has been questioned by many people in the 11-plus years since the fight.
I'm not so sure I wouldn't be one of them to question that. At the time, I felt that Norton won the fight, and looking at it again, I tell you, my feeling is renewed. A very close fight, and I don't think you can fault the judges because it was that close. But I felt that in the 5th round, there was a subtle change in this fight where Norton started to come on, and I thought from that point on, except for the last round, was the dominant figure in this fight.
Now, this fight came in September of 1973, some 5 months after the fight in which Ali was beaten by Norton and also beaten up to the point where his jaw had been broken. Now, let's take a look, contrasting Ali Norton 1, Ali Norton 2. What did either fighter do, if anything, differently in this fight?
They both made a couple of subtle shifts that helped them. Ali started to use his left hook a lot more. Ali doesn't have a great left hook, but against Norton, because of that cross-handed style, you need to come with the left hook, and later George Foreman and Ernie Shavers were to knock Norton out with it. Ali came with that punch more. It was effective. Norton, when he had Ali pinned against the ropes, used his uppercut much more in this fight. And I think both fighters were better in this second fight.
And we touched at the top of this super bout about the decade of the 70s and the division of the heavyweights. Ken Norton certainly would remain near center stage, maybe just off of the wings, and he would become champion, but he would not win the championship in the ring. He would, 1978, be declared the WBC champion.
He was declared champion when Leon Spinks beat Ali and refused to fight Norton, which had been a prerequisite for getting the fight with Ali. The winner would have to fight Norton, the #1 contender. The WBC stripped Leon Spinks of his title. Norton went on to fight Larry Holmes in his first title defense, a pretty tough defense, lost by a split decision by 1 point. And you wonder how history would have been changed had Norton gotten that decision. Also a very close fight.
And this was a close fight, the one we've just taken a look at. And with this split decision for Muhammad Ali, he takes really a decisive step towards his second and then, of course, his third bout with Joe Frazier. So you might even say this was perhaps the first step towards the Thrilla in Manila, which many people consider to be one of the prime, if not the prime, athletic events in the 1970s.
And just